Hi, welcome back to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your companion into the world of Chinese. And this is the second episode. I'm going back to the Markov chain we've been doing, continue picking up from what we left off in 2021. The last phrase we learned in 2021 is 无所谓, means nothing to tell or nothing whatsoever to tell. Translated English means whatever. It's like, I don't really want to make an effort to even recognize that, to say anything about it. So that's our 无所谓. And today we're going to continue with the character 所. Last time we talked about 所 came from this X on the right side and the sound maker on the left side. But it actually is a very abstract concept because it's considered a small word in English by being not really carry a meaning, but can carry all kinds of meaning. It can mean what, if, all, and what else? Like there's something else that corresponding to the English that this word, this one Chinese character can be used as. So 所 in this context, 所以然 in this context, it still means like what, like it's talking about something, referring to something in that context. So this is kind of, to me, it's like a container. It's like a bottle, empty, and you don't have anything filled in, any concrete information filled in yet. But this is a referral of what you have been talking about in that conversation. So 所以 the second word 以 is another kind of abstract, and the origin is also a little bit complicated. So you can see there are two forms of 以 in the past. It looks like a spoon, and this one is upside down, another character called 已经. It means already. So it's another abstract concept, but it's an upside down version of that. And somehow in the evolution of the word, it becomes reasoning. Like you are trying to think of something and to make sense of something. So my breakdown of this, why it becomes reasoning is, okay, so first, on the right side, there are still a little bit of this human stick figure in it on the right side, right? And on the left is probably the reasoning portion that kind of look like this. Things upside down or flipped. So my reasoning of the character reasoning is think something flipped. So when you're considering like doing SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis, you are going to look at things from all kinds of angles, right? So you want to see the pros and cons of doing something. So that's the kind of reasoning, like you're really considering it in all aspects. It's a pretty big concept in a very relatively simple, a few strokes to express that. 然, okay, so this word got a little bit more things going on. So you can see there are two parts of it. The bottom part means water by itself, but it also means if it's positioned below this word, well, this, okay, let's build it back together. So we have this human stick figure in here, right? This is the human, and with the horizontal line that transformed into big. So if you spread out yourself, your wingspan to the horizontal, the biggest, that's going to be the character big. And then with a little dot on top of it, that's the character actually dog. And dog, domestic animal, it probably is used not exactly as a pet in ancient Chinese community, right? And the left side is it looks like a sheep, so it's kind of like half moon with a wind, with a cloud covering, but the top portion altogether, the left and right put together, is the sound maker, and the bottom is means the water boiling. So it's a cooking thing, right? So it's when you're boiling, you're burning fire. So that's this word's original meaning. And somehow over the history, it transformed, become confirmation. It's almost like when you ask somebody a question like, is today's weather good? And you come back with yes, and that's the yes, confirming of a situation. So it's actually old Chinese way of confirming. I feel like the first time I learned about this, because this is not a common contemporary Chinese use. When I first learned about it, it's just one character, one sound. We call it ran. That means agreed, positive, yes. And I feel it's so cool. Like you just say ran to stop the conversation and say, let's move on from there, ran. And the full meaning of 所以然, we have what, and we have the reasoning, thinking portion, and then agreed. Altogether, 所以然, the phrase together means reasoning. Because, let me be honest, Chinese language is not really well constructed to carry a lot of reasoning operators in its language. Like you can tell from this character 所, it can be what, if, any, all, like all kinds of logical operating words. It's really vague, right? Because Chinese, we don't really spend a lot of time reasoning things. 所以 is a contemporary expression. Like if you say 所以 without the 然, it simply means therefore. So it's a conclusion. Before you draw a conclusion, you give a therefore to signify, okay, here's what my concluding to. And that came from 所, with all the above, right? 所, we're talking about in this context what we're referring to previously, and 以 is my reasoning after I've done my thinking. Here we go. It's my conclusion. So that's the 所以 together, but with the 然 from Old Chinese, 所以然 together means this reasoning process. 然 means okay, it's the positive conclusion, right? So you have presented your evidence in the 所, 以 is your reasoning process, and then you draw a conclusion, means 然 agreed, or go, like positive. So that means the whole full set of this reasoning or argument building process in Chinese. And I pick this phrase to show you how 所以然 is used even in a bigger context with a lot more saying going on. So 知其然而不知其所以然 basically means you know about it. 然 means the way things go, okay? 而 again, that's another logical operating word that can be yes, but, however, like you want to go positively or negatively all the time. It can be very versatile. So in this context, it's like you know about it, but you don't know why it is what it is. So you know it is as is, but you don't know why it is what it is. Oh my God, it's confusing. So basically it means you know the phenomenon, but you don't know the causes, the elements, why it happened this way. So 知其然而不知其所以然, that's our reasoning phrase to tell you, okay, so the behind, the forces making things happen, that's the 所以然 we're talking about here. All right, so I hope I can explain to you 然, like what's happening in Chinese. I can also tell you a little bit about 所以然, why Chinese are expressed in a certain way. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you another day.